Morning everybody, hope you're all well. Video for you, bit of variation to be quite honest. Bought a few bits at NEC, a few bits with Mark 4's what I've like discovered on one at Zephyr's, and a bit of angling, and generally a bit of what's going off to be quite honest. Well anyhow, we're down at NEC as you all were aware because I did a few bits and pieces of videos and stuff like that. I met some smashing people, Owen, Georgina and Sam, I think was the lad's name. Sam had a Trabant and Owen had a Wartburg and Georgina had a Saxo, fancy Saxo thing. I mean they had a stall, they're all young enthusiasts into retro stuff. I mean there were no Farina on the stall as you saw. I mean they seemed quite keen and like one of the chaps' dads were helping out, stuff like that. So, and I've joined the group to like help them on Facebook or whatever if there's any help for them and stuff like that. But it was interesting to see them there. I mean, it were alright, it was good. But you know, overall, to be honest, with show, I mean, it's like it's on a massive change. I did notice that. Like your older end stuff were not well. It just wasn't there. Some of like your really old end stuff. I mean, I had a look around that Reliant, you saw that, and but. Most of the gear that I was noticing were like new stuff coming through, which is like your plastic bumper cars. I mean, you don't have to pull a face about it. I mean, if that's what the class is modern classics, that's it. But I think they're going to come into issues when they come to start repairing bits and pieces. Cause I know bumpers get brittle, a lot of plastic. I've mentioned this sort of stuff before, but I mean, some of the displays at stores, at stands and that, they were lovely, they were nice. I mean, there were some nice Capris, you know. People had put some effort in. There were nice, lovely A30 there, I saw that. I mean, I don't really understand how art stands work or what goes off and, you know, how they juggled around, but it was a bit different. Auto Jumble, I'd say, I just don't think they've got audience. Because, I mean, I don't know how many people went through doing. I mean, no doubt they'll tell you different than probably whatever did happen. But, I'll just wait well today, really. But they just seemed like, that, you know, there were quite a bit. I mean, there's a chap there, just calipers, various bits. Just quite a lot of stuff, actually. And I think he's retired. I've seen it on Mac 4 do down the railway, down Loughborough Way and stuff like that. So, but I think he's going. There were a few more, but it was a bit... just typical stuff like that comes in from China, you know, and that's when I thought, well, they won't go to store for, but it wouldn't have been cheap, so it obviously it cost them money, so they've got to sell some stuff to make some money. And well, it was like different than what I thought. Artec were there with the welders, as they always are, they're a bit of a corporate company. I think they keep a flag flying for their welders. But like, I noticed there were like not many people there with jigs. Now, whether they're just going to focus on actual classic car show, I don't know. It is a bigger show. You know, I went round auction. Auction seemed to be inundated with Range Rovers, Ford Mac 1s and stuff like that. But to be honest, they wanted a lot of work, and I just don't think they'll find people to do work for them. There were an E-Type there, it were an old barn find. It wasn't a vast amount of money for an E-Type. It were a Series 1. Fixed head cool, which is probably one to have, I would say. It's a pretty car. It wanted a lot of work, but it wanted a lot of money. I've seen cars before for what they were asking for it. And from what I've seen, some of the results from auction, I mean, I think one that took them by surprise were a Mac 2 Zodiac that's got a bid of, I think it was over 27 grand or something, so I think it's going to New Zealand from snippets. I might be wrong, but just I tend to skip read stuff like that when I see it, so just have to excuse me if I'm wrong, but overall, which show, different world, completely different world, and I suppose what I'm doing here, working on my own, like doing these things, I think that's all it's ever going to be. And I've said this before, and the more and more I see this sort of stuff go on. I mean, I've like delivered a car, that MG I delivered to, and that client's dropped poorly all of a sudden, and I mean, they're just all little bits of eye-openers that you've got to just weigh up. That's my positioning game, and that's where I'm at. But anyhow, going on to something else, I mean, on to Mac 4s, I've noticed, as I've told you, I think I've told you on the video, it were running a bit lean, one I drive, V4. Anyhow, I had a bit of a misfire. Now, I saw that misfire out, but what I've noticed with it is she were lean and she were pulling up inlet manifold. Now, I had a bit of a shufty round, and I mean, there were bits, it just seemed to be pulling anywhere. So what I'm starting to think now, because I've had similar trouble with some at Daimler V8s with heads. I mean, they have to be ceramic coated because they go porous. So also, I mean, on them, they also take water and they also, well, they pull air. So, and I'm starting to think that the Mach 4s might be doing that. So what I'm going to do with that car, I'm going to pull its inlet manifold. I'm going to put a new carb gasket on first. It is running a lot better. I've sorted misfire out. It was a dodgy distributor. And, well, dodgy distributor. Points were like arcing because it had one bad connection up Dizzy, which caused them to arc more in a certain place. So, just how it happens. So, but that's that. So, I mean, but what I'm saying is that could be another area in classic cars where if stuff's going like porous, well, it's an area people aren't taking care of. I mean, you're probably not going to get it so much with your iron because your iron's just, well, it'd disappear if it were that porous. That's the end of the story. It's just gone. But with aluminium, you're not going to notice as a bit. It could sit there oxidised. And I think it was a new inlet manifold I put on that car when I rebuilt locked engine. But we'll see. But I'm going to go into that and I'll keep you posted, obviously, with other things. I mean, going over to this Anglia, I put this heater box on here now. This heater box, I mean, God, it's been about forever. And I knew what it was for. And anyhow, on this car, guy wants an heater, so I can incorporate it. But I've got to make some hoses up to bulkhead, bits and pieces. I mean, it is ready really to fire up now. She's oiled up, everything's right. I can't start it. So I've got a new radiator cap coming because apparently the brass. Now I've located one by Old Ford Parts, smashing people, they've got one. And same with a fan belt, because they're really thick fan belt to get right height for dynamo, etc. But this is on right track now, everything's going right. Body's all right, it's more or less down to bare metal. I'm still stripping some bits off. I've got doors to strip yet, bolt lids all done. I've got like a bit of cleaning up to do in engine bay and stuff like that. But obviously, you know, before wings were done, etc. So this is on its way, so this one can go out of way. But I mean, but things with these, to be honest, now, I mean, I don't know what knowledge is for them. And I always say this, but I don't know what it is. I mean, I like old things like this, and I understand them, and I know things about them. And when I put bits on old side valves Facebook page, I get some of the replies I can tell that people are obviously, even older end, probably, oh, I hadn't seen one of them before. And, you know, these are stuff that I've been about for a while. But anyhow, that's where we are with Anglia, so that's ready to go. And like I said, bodies is, I've got doors to just strip off now to bare metal, and then we'll start plating up, coating up, because I want to start plating that one. I'm going to just finish a couple of bits of plating, going to make some door bottoms for Ely, which will probably show you. I mean, I don't know how I'm going to do things now, because I think some visions I had for this YouTube channel, well, I think they're a bit scuppered, to be honest, because it's the industry's so changed. I think I'm better just being an overall guy. I'm going to do your Mach 4, because I know you're all desperate for a Mach 4. I'll probably do you half a dozen Mach 4 for the restore them, and you'll see the lot, because I do like these cars, and as you know, and they're good. And I've got some other good cars that I'll sort out. But I can't see them now being, well, there won't be restores for customers because I'll not set them on, because I think it's too much of a dangerous game. You've got bills to pay and you've got money to keep coming in. And if somebody loses the finance, which they quite easily could weigh things out with everything, it could be a bit of a dodgy game. So, well, we're changing. Well, we're not changing, but I'm just saying, you're going to, more or less, what you're going to get from me now is what you see. You're going to just see a workshop working. And that's the end of chat, because I can't see any way of me moving any down. I mean, it was positive seeing young'uns down at that show. I mean, I really like that. I mean, but also it was a bit sad in a way. Some cars were disappearing and stuff were coming on, which is here I know. But and obviously if them customers were still there for them cars, well, they'll still be at show. You know, I see no reason why they won't be. So, but it's a different game. So you're going to get, as it says in my description of my channel, you're just going to fly on the wall, look at it. There's no what I can't do with these things. Absolutely nothing I can't do. I mean, I'm out this morning sort of Mach 1 transit out because it's been everywhere. And it's got no spark. It's not going to be too hard. I think it's ballast resistor. I told him it was that. I went and tested it. I said ballast resistor's not checking out. And so he's got one. So it's probably got a coil issue now because they probably put a wrong coil on as well. So but I'm going to go down this morning sort that. But that's where I'm at. I worked at Mach 1 console at weekend because I had to put a back screen sealing because nobody's got a clue. But so anyhow, give us a like if you like what I do. Subscribe to my channel if you want to subscribe to my channel. It'll all be interesting stuff, fly on wall, stuff like that. And then, well, we'll just keep it as that, you know. And if you've got any comments, you know, any time, and just you can contact me. I'll answer any questions because there's no I don't know about it, and I just think becoming a bit like unique guys who just tend to just put their hand to everything and sort everything out on their own. So thanks for watching anyway, and like I say, give us a like, subscribe if you want to watch more, and send me a comment and I'll give you an answer. You're more than welcome anyway. Take care buddy, bye for now.